Hola, ¿qué tal YouTube? Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another tutorial video. Today we're going to finish deploying our application. We're going to be using Heroku and Netlify to make those deployments, and by all means, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Put the things that you've built on the comment section so we can see and, comment on whatever you guys have built. And yeah, let's go to the tutorial video. So the last thing that we need to do in order to finish this, oh my god, is we want to open Visual Code Studio so we can start working. And what we want to do is essentially deploy this. And by the way, the camera, which is my laptop one, is not the one that I record the intros with. I don't know, it has the lights a little bit weird. The thing is that I have, there's a green screen behind me, and then if I don't adjust it like it is right now, there's like black dots over here. So that's why you see like some like greenish stuff in my hand and in my forehead. So it is what it is. But yeah. It's funny because right now I just stopped the video to check how loud was the volume, and I can barely hear the audio. But for some reason the mic picks up the audio really well and it amplifies the audio. So when I see the recording, the audio actually it's way louder than what it actually is in the recording. Like right now I cannot hear the music well. But the good thing is that you guys will, and it won't be to a very high volume. That way you can, listen to the music, chill and relax, but at the same time you can hear my voice clearly. Okay, so what we're going to do is the following. First we want to go to the backend and we want to check which connection do we have on our .env. So currently I have this local connection. So the first thing that I want you guys to do in order to deploy is go to Mongo Atlas. So I'm gonna go to Firefox. Now I was just looking a little bit at YouTube, but I'm gonna go to, oh man, didn't want to close both. Yeah, whenever I record and open programs, my computer goes a little bit crazy because it's doing too many processes at the same time, but it is what it is. But yeah, you guys go ahead and start going to Mongo Atlas. So I'm gonna close this. Let's go here. Mongo Atlas. So I already have an account, but I want you guys to create an account. So you're gonna click the first link, and yeah, as I said, my computer is a little bit slow, so I have to be a bit patient here. But yeah, sign up with either Google or your email. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna create a new account with you guys. That way you can see step by step how to sign up, because there's a few things that you need to do when you configure MongoDB Atlas. So I'm gonna create a new one, even though I already have one. Accept private. Yep, sounds good. So okay, that takes us there. Okay, it's taking a little bit. Your answer, what is your goal today? Build a new application. Like learn MongoDB and explore what I can build, like the three of them. I don't think you can, yeah, so essentially we're building a new application. I guess learn MongoDB. Definitely not microservices. Single view, gaming, application realization, content management. Not blockchain, definitely. Single view application, right? A SPA, single page application. Not sure. What is your preferred language? Honestly, I don't mind, but we're definitely using JavaScript right now, so I'm just gonna put JavaScript. I like Java a lot though. Definitely, we do not want dedicated or serverless. We want free stuff. Let's go for the free. So you're gonna see this window right here. And essentially we're gonna click AWS. It doesn't matter if you click either Google Cloud or Azure. My preference is towards AWS, but I would just stick with AWS, but you guys can choose any of those three providers. All of those three, they have free tiers. And either you're in the East Coast or West Coast, you know, assuming you're in the US, you choose your coast accordingly. Or if you're like in one of these countries, then obviously go ahead and, you know, choose one of these servers here. They'll probably have a quicker response time. I'm not sure. So it's just create cluster. That's it. I literally didn't have to click anything. So get 10 credits for every person you invite. Yeah, I'm not really interested in this. Alright, username and password. This is really important. And I'm obviously going to create like some dumb username and password. And by the way, I'm obviously going to change this after the video in case you want to try use mine. So username. Arturo. Password. Arturo 123. Great user. Perfect. That's it. That's all you need. And by the way, before I didn't know what a cluster meant, because this is a cluster, and you know, just like cluster sounds is like, you know, a grouping. Here we'll have a cluster of databases. So you don't need to create multiple clusters, which I thought like long before ago, I thought like every time you create a new database, you had to create a new cluster, but obviously not. You can have multiple free databases running in Mongo Atlas DB within one cluster. And I know this white light is killing me, like you can barely see my face. But anyway, so this is going to be downloading, or you know, this is going to be setting up, and as it says, it's going to take 3 to 5 minutes. So what I want you guys to do now is download the following software, which is Mongo Compass, which I probably used in the previous videos, and I probably told you guys to download it. I can't recall, it's been a while, it's been a minute, but I'm 99.9% sure I did use it. Anyway, if you don't have it for any reason, or you didn't use it, right now is the time to download it. It's 100% free. So I have Windows, and this is the executable for Windows, right? Or maybe it's this, I don't know, like, or if you download this, it gives you like the executable. Or if you have Mac OS, just go ahead and download the Mac OS one. If you have Ubuntu, then you know, you may already know what to do. Ubuntu is always a headache for beginners, but if you have Ubuntu, probably you're comfortable installing using, you know, tar files and whatever. Anyway, you download it. So once you download it, you should be able to, and let me put this on silent because I don't want any interruptions. So once that you have it, you should be able to see something like this. Now these are my previous connections, but I'm not going to use, well, yeah, there you go. So I did use it last tutorial for the local connection. This is my local connection, and we're not going to be using that. Why? What is Mongo Atlas DB exactly? Mongo Atlas DB is a provider that hosts your database in a cloud service. What does cloud service mean? Essentially, it's just another computer, maybe in Ohio, maybe in, you know, all the providers from AWS that you saw, Oslo, Ireland, Germany. So imagine a computer right there sitting in a rack, like a setup box. There, that computer is saving your storage. So whenever you try to get storage, it's going to be retrieved from that machine. So that's what Mongo Atlas does, essentially. So this seems to be ready. You're not going to see any databases here. Why? Because it's empty. So as you can see, there's nothing here. What I want you guys to do is the following. We don't need to do anything other than connect. So what you're going to do is add your current IP address. This is, and please pay attention to this because this is very important for deployment, because if you don't follow this to the T, you're going to have mistakes. So you add your current IP address, and what you want to do is actually delete this. Why? Because you want to be able to connect from any IP address. You should be able to put 0000 on. Choose connection method. Nope. Where's security? 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. So why did I put 4 zeros? Because I want this to be able to connect from any place in the world. Otherwise, you would have to know the IP address of your Heroku server, which is a pain. So it's just easier. It's not secure. Definitely, it's not secure. It's not something that I recommend for production or not for something serious. But then again, if you're doing this on your own, you don't have to worry because it's not as serious. If you're in a company where you have a senior dev and they're using this method, then there's something wrong there. The senior dev should know better that that's not a good way to deploy. For learning purposes or for small clients, this is totally fine. So essentially we added a 00000 IP address, meaning any IP address can access this database, which is what we want. So we're going to choose a connection method because we want to connect this instance to our MongoDB Compass because we want to be able to see what happens through MongoDB Compass, right? So not MongoDB shell. Where did I put that? Go back. Connect using MongoDB Compass. And essentially what this is doing is it's giving you a string where you can connect, and here instead of the chevrons, right, and the password in between, you get rid of this too. And you write your password and voila, you're connected. So what we're going to do is exactly that. I'm gonna go here and notice how I'm getting rid of everything after the equal sign, and then where my password placement holder is, I'm gonna put the actual password, right? And the test, I believe, is the name of the database, which is, now we're going to change it to YouTube library. Port is going to remain the same. Secret key, that's perfectly fine. Now what we want to do is make sure that this runs. It doesn't matter that this is empty. This is, as a matter of fact, going to be empty because it's a new database. It's not the same database. It's a new database that is going to be hosted on MongoDB Atlas. So I'm going to do npm, actually I'm just going to do nodemon app.js, and we should see both server running and database connection. Now that's taking a little bit, so I'm not sure. Oh, there you go, connected to DB and server running. Okay, and then I'm going to do npm start for the React counterpart, and we should see the UI with obviously empty stuff. And we'll wait till that loads. So anyway, we have that done. Now we can go here to MongoDB Atlas. Oh, actually I messed up. That was meant to be here. It's funny that it also works, because that should not work. That's funny. Wow. Okay. This is where the string should have been put, actually, not in the other, not in my .env. But as you can see here, I'm also connected. Let me zoom this a bit. I'm also connected, and also let me zoom the .env file. 1, 2, there you go. So this is for Mongo Compass, this string. This should not be for the shell, but anyway, it's working. So hey, there you go. Though, okay, so I'm gonna close this. Though it should be, I actually want to also connect your application. So this is the actual string. And just the same thing. Instead of this thing right here, which is wrong. Funnily though, we are connected. Instead of my first database, you see, same thing. Instead of password and the chevrons, we just put our password. So that's the password to the MongoDB Atlas. And then here, instead of my first database, you just put the name of the database you want, which in my case is YouTube library, and save. YouTube library, that's I'm surprised that the other string also worked. Yeah, because right now, since we haven't restarted the server, it's actually picking the other string. So what I'm going to do is just quit or close my my backend server and restart it, and we should see the same thing. So there you go, we're connected again, no problem. And we shouldn't see any changes in MongoDB Compass. I'm gonna refresh just in case. Yep, same thing with book schemas, the rental schemas, and the user schemas. I know there's a lot of stuff that we had to do before, and this is grabbing the user, even though, so the thing is, even though we don't have users on the database, this is being grabbed from the local storage. So if it's on the local storage, it's just grabbing the name from the local storage, but I believe it won't work for other stuff. Now, as you see, there's nothing here. So let's sign up. Let's do Arturo@test.com, and I'm going to do password 123. All right, so I logged in. So Arturo@test.com. Password 123. Okay, so I'm there. So I'm not an admin, and that's why I cannot see the other links. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my MongoDB Compass, and now we should see one user. Perfect. Roles, user, role, sorry, not roles. So now I'm going to change it to admin. I'm going to click update, and even if I refresh, I feel that this is not going to change because this is saved on the local storage. So I probably have to sign out and sign in again. Yep. Obviously, there's more functionality to handle this logic, but the tutorial would be 20 videos long, which I don't want to, do. So I'm going to keep it simple. But here you go. Now we can see the add book link. And, I'm just going to keep it simple. Lord of the Rings, author J.R. Tolkien. Image URL. So I'm going to put Lord of the Rings Fellowship. Book. Very important. There you go. I don't know why I like these images, but I do. Actually, there you go. Better image. So I'm gonna copy image link. In Mac, I believe it's copy image address. Gonna go back to the application. Write genres: epic, war, I don't know, medieval, novel. I don't know. Let's just keep it simple. So I just had to refresh. I don't know if it was taking a little bit, but there you go. We can view. Let's edit Lord of the Rings Fellowship. So let's save edit. So there you go. We can edit. We can delete, but I don't want to delete. I just want to leave it as it is. But anyway. We have the add book, delete, and whatnot. So there you go. We have our CRUD functionality there. And this with the MongoDB database. Perfect. That's all I wanted to do, just to make sure that we could, make use of the database in the cloud service. But let's add 2 more books. I'm going to put Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Really good books if you guys haven't read those, from Stieg Larsson. The books are really good. The Swedish movies are also really good. in case you haven't seen those movies. Yeah, I didn't know there was some content. I may have to cut this. Okay. There you go. Title: Girl with Dragon Tattoo. Author: Stieg Larsson. Genre: it's like a police novels, I believe, ish. Police novels. Drama. Hackers. She's a hacker, so you know, I think it's cool, especially if we're like related to this field. What else? I believe I know European, if anything, if there's like such a genre. Yeah, no, like it's super random in my opinion, so to put European genre, like, there you go. All right, so we have 2 books, and you guys can go ahead and add a third. For me, with 2 is that should do. All right, so we have those. Now what we're going to do is the following. We're gonna go to Heroku, and you guys need to sign up. I'm not gonna walk you guys through the creation of a Heroku account. It's really simple. Hence why I'm not even going to show how to, you know, create one. The MongoDB, I thought it was a little bit, you know, trickier, but didn't turn out to be as tricky as I thought, so you guys got that too. But yeah, here you just like sign up. Let me see. Let me see if I remember. Later. All right. Okay, so here I have a bunch of applications already created, but you know what we're going to do is the following. We're going to create a new application. Create a new app. This, I'm going to call this YouTube library. Obviously, if you try to choose this, oh, there you go, Steven. It's already taken, so YouTube library app. There you go. So I'm going to create that app, and if you guys try to create the same name, you're not going to be able to, because I already have that name, obviously. So go ahead, create your application with the name that you wish. You're going to be hearing this like weird dashboard. The first thing that you guys need to do is install the Heroku CLI. So I'm going to open the link right here. And what I recommend is to do the following. Don't use Brew, don't use Snap, whatever. The easiest thing, honestly, is npm. So npm install globally Heroku. That's it. That's the easiest way that you can install Heroku. You don't even need to do Heroku login. Heroku is gonna ask you to log in as soon as you do the deployment. So don't do this. Like, we'll get there in its due time. So connect to GitHub. This is very important because the way that you're feeding the code to Heroku is through your GitHub. So, and actually, we're not gonna do this. Nope. Overview. I mean, we're gonna point our application, obviously, to GitHub, but in a different way. So, create a new GitHub repository. No, we already have a Git repository. So, we are not going to do Git init. The only thing that we need to do is Heroku Git remote and this thing. So this line. Why? Because we just need to put our Git repo to Heroku. So essentially, we're just going to copy the third line here. Right? So again, where it says create new Git repository, we don't need to because we already have a Git repository, and we're only going to copy the third line. This is going to be only for our server part. The front end, you'll see it's even easier. Like, it's so easy. So I'm going to do this. It's probably going to ask you to log in through the terminal, and you just need to press like a spacebar or any key. There you go. So press any key to open the browser. So you're actually going to see exactly the same. So it's actually good that you see this. There you go. I just I pressed spacebar, took me here, clicked the logged in, and now I'm logged in. That's how easy it is. So now that you've done this, now you have to do git add, git commit, you know, whatever the commit, git push Heroku master. So git status, I don't have anything. Git push origin main. And by the way, Jesus, I forgot. All right, so I don't have anything to push. So by the way, you guys don't need to do anything yet. You just need to do git. Like if you have some changes, you do git add your changes. Then you do git commit message, right? Obviously enter, and then git push origin main to push it into GitHub. And once you've done that, then you can do git push Heroku main. You don't do master, you do main. Why main? Because the name of our branch is main. Obviously, in the case that you have the name master in your branch, then by all means do master. But since I have a main branch, then I use main. And if you don't have this like I do, and you don't know which branch you have, you can do git branch, I think it's R, git branch. Yeah, I think it's git branch. And that way you can see how many branches you have. In my case, I only have main. So, but that way you do git branch and you only see master, or you only see whatever, then that's the branch that you're going to be pushing. So I'm going to do git push Heroku main. And this may take a little bit. So meanwhile this loads, I'm going to leave this running in the background. We're going to go to settings. This is very important. Also very simple, so don't get stressed out. This is very, very simple. So I'm actually going to go ahead and open this halfway and open this other thing halfway, and I'm gonna go here. So essentially what we want to do is put these things in here. That's it. And we don't even have to put the port, but very important, the MongoDB URL, right? So MongoDB URL, and then everything after the equal sign, we don't want to put the equal sign. Damn, I've been programming in Mac, so I forgot a little bit of the key bindings in Windows, but there you go. So essentially I copied everything, right? So from the beginning all the way to the end. Oh, you cannot see it because I'm not editing, but yeah, essentially I copied everything. And then same thing for the secret key, very important. If you don't put the secret key, you're not gonna get a token and you're gonna get errors whenever you log in. So very important, don't forget the secret key and don't forget the MongoDB URL. As you can see, I'm ignoring the equal sign. You don't have to put any equal sign in here, all right? So now that I copy those two, I click add, and that's it. So now I have these two variables there. That's it, that's all I need. And this is meanwhile, this is deploying. So I'm actually gonna make this bigger so you guys can see. So enumerating done, building done, da 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 da. You may get some errors here, you may not. It doesn't really matter whether, well, of course it does matter, but don't get too stressed out. I'm gonna show you guys how to check this out. So what you're going to do is, in the case, probably you won't have any errors, but in the case that you have an error, you do git Heroku logs, I believe. Heroku logs. There you go. So with Heroku logs, you can see all the logs, and there you go. I actually have this error. You see how it says here, like the first line, npm error, missing script start. Very important. And that's actually what I wanted you to tell you guys right after that. And I wanted to show you the error so you guys know how to, you know, check errors on your own, which is with Heroku logs. Then you see everything green, then you see error, and then you just follow the error. Very simple, so don't get scared. So now I'm just gonna, you know, I exited out. What I'm going to do is the following. I'm gonna go to my package.json. You see here in scripts, we don't have any script other than test, and we don't use a test script. So I'm gonna put start, I'm gonna put node, and then point to where all the functionality the main file is. Some people call it index.js. I called it app.js, but I've seen also server.js. So I'm gonna put app.js. Whatever you called it, that's what you put there. So now that I have that, because this changed, then, you know, as I showed you before, you do git add, git commit, added start script and JSON file, git push origin main. Right, you may not have to do all the password thing in your GitHub, hopefully. And then just git push Heroku main. And that's literally it. So this may take a minute, not too long, but you know, let's wait, because right now we cannot move on onto the front end until this is done. And you see how this says build succeeded, so that's very important. You can get errors as you saw before, where even though it says build succeeded, you can get some errors through the log. But you know, if you want to check, you can do Heroku logs, and I don't. So build started. So I think this is the last instance, and I may be wrong, but I think from here it's all good. Stage change to starting to up. So I think everything is fine. I may be wrong, but I think this is the last log, and it all seems good. How do we check? Very simple. We go here in our dashboard, and where it says open app, we click the button, and it'll show you the link. Now, the fact that it says cannot get slash, that is a good sign, because it means that your API is working, but that you don't have a, you know, the rootmost route set up, which is fine, it's normal. But if we do API books, we see the books and the books that we added recently from the MongoDB. So that is perfect. It's working. Now, the second thing that we're going to do is actually even easier. It's simpler than Heroku. We're gonna go to Netlify, and I also want you guys to create an account. Let me look for Netlify. Nope, not Netflix. So Netlify. Alright, so I'm here, I'm gonna log in, but again, very simple. You guys go ahead and create your account. Connected to GitHub, very, very important. And as you can see, these are 3 previous projects. Connected to GitHub, because that way is how you're going to be connecting your code to this service. So once that you have created your account, you're probably going to see something like this. So team overview, whatever. I'm going to go to sites. Now I want to add a new site, or I know there's an easier way. I want to deploy a new site without connecting again. Drag and drop. Nope. Team overview. Add new site. Start from a template. No. This changed a bit from last time. Deploy manually. No. Sites. No. Build. It's really simple though, so I'm guessing start deploy manually. What? Okay, this is new to me, but it shouldn't be too hard. Notify lab, sign out. Nope. This is like a new service they created. Let me figure this out. It shouldn't be too hard. Domain start members. Yeah, that's myself. Yeah, so easy. So import an existing project, and we're gonna import it from GitHub. So you're gonna sign in with your GitHub credentials. And once you're in, you're gonna look for the front end repo. And by the way, this has to be public, both for Heroku and Netlify. Your repos have to be public, otherwise you're gonna have trouble deploying them. So just as an FYI. So this is YouTube, because I have a couple of YouTube projects from other videos. So YouTube library. Let's see if this finds the front end one. I'm just gonna put YouTube, maybe that way is found. There you go. Library YouTube front end. So this is the one that I want to deploy, right? Because that's this right here. So owner, that's fine. Branch deploying, that's fine. Base directory, that's fine. npm run build, that's fine. We're actually going to go to show advanced settings. And here, I'm gonna put a new variable. And what I'm going to do here is essentially put what we have on the .env file on our React side. So I'm just gonna copy the React underscore API underscore URL variable. Gonna put it there. And then in the value, instead of putting all this /API, you guessed it, we're gonna go into our Heroku. Where is this? I'm gonna go to the dashboard because I actually want to use the link without any. I just should have gotten rid of the API products, but whatever. So YouTube library app, there you go. I'm gonna open the app. So this is a link that we want. I'm gonna put that there. I actually want to see this because all the way at the end, I'm just gonna add API and that's it. So again, I'm just copying the YouTube library app heroku.com/API, which again, we get this from here. You go to your app that you just created and click open app and it'll give you this link. Okay, so that's it. You don't need to save, you don't need to click anything. This already saved. Very important actually before you move on. So let's leave this open. Very important. Your React application is not going to work if you don't do the following thing. Or actually it may if you don't have any errors, but any warnings, but I doubt it. If I have warnings, pretty sure you guys may have warnings too. So this is because ESLint config is checking for not only errors but also standards and whatnot. So what I do is I get rid of this. Is it the best thing to do? No. Is it like good to do whenever you're in a big team and you're doing something in production? No. Why? Because I just got rid of like the testing scripts that help to do continuous integration and continuous deployment, and you guys will see what that is in a bit. But obviously if you're in a big team, this is not advised. But then again, if you're in a big team, there should be a senior developer that is already doing testing, and the deployment is probably not going to be on a Netlify. It's probably going to be on a Linux server. So you guys don't have to worry about this. This is good for learning, so don't worry about this. By all means, just keep on following along with this. So I'm gonna go into my front end, and because of the same reason that I changed my git package, my package JSON file, we need to add those changes. So git add, git commit, got rid of Jest and ESLint checks. And the terminal is a little bit slow, as you can see, because I'm running the recording software plus, VS Code. Finally, okay, and then git push origin main. All right. Wow, the lag. It's a little bit annoying sometimes, but okay, it's there. It works. Just a little bit slow, but but it's working. Okay, so now that we got rid of that and we haven't pressed anything here, then we can go ahead and deploy site. And obviously we don't want to save anything. So now this is gonna take its time. We can actually go to there's like a deploy settings, or deploys, and then here you can see how this is working. You can see how this is processing everything. I don't think I missed anything. I think everything is accounted for, and you guys should be able to have exactly the same thing. But again, this is gonna take like maybe 1 or 2 minutes, but let's see and wait. Oh, by the way, something that I didn't do, I kind of like just created the website, but there is a way to also get like a kind of like Heroku, where you can get like a custom domain with the .netlify at the end. But honestly, that you can later check that out. What's important is that we see our Netlify deployed front end that makes the calls to the backend. That's what we want to see right now. Okay. So this is gonna take a bit. Install missing commands, verify, blah blah, Netlify build. No red. So if we don't see any red, it means that this is good. npm run build. This is where like React compiles everything that we wrote into pure JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and deploys it in a Netlify server, which looks good and compiled successfully. So everything looks fine. If you see something red, then probably you have an error. Just go ahead, check the video, check your steps. You should be able to see where you had your error. But again, you have all my GitHub links, so you can check yourself. You can go ahead and also check through the video. You should be able to deploy this with no problem. I think this is really simple. I know even though the duration has been 40 minutes, I've been going very, very slowly and waited for like the loading of this. So you guys should be able to follow along pretty easily. So I don't like the preview deploy, but hey, we have it. It's there. I actually want to go to sites because I believe this stops working after a while because it's the preview link. So deploys GitHub, blah, blah, site overview. So this is the one, I believe. So Cranky Bartik. That's funny. Okay, yeah, so this is it. This is a link. So I'm actually gonna leave this deployed so you guys can see this. But yeah, essentially I'm gonna log in. You know, I'm gonna go here. I can add a book. Let's try to add a book, and I'm gonna add what was I trying to read? Oh, and by the way, whatever, I'm not gonna get political. The Perfume, that's a good book. Actually, I wanted to read also 100 Years of Solitude. Solitude, author Gabriel Garcia Marquez, image URL, 100 Years of Solitude, 100 Years of Solitude. Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Obviously, I would read it in Spanish, but you know, so this is understandable by everybody. Genres, magic realism, novel, drama. That's all I can think of. So I'm gonna refresh, and there you go. So and here you see the genre. So this is all for today's video. We have the deployment for both the backend, the front end, and we also have the MongoDB Atlas working. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.